Welcome to another deep dive, and today we're talking Disney pets.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, right. It's a topic close to a lot of people's hearts, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
You guys sent in a list of the top 10,
Okay.
and we're going to be kind of dissecting it today, going through it.
Awesome.
So we're not just going to name them off, we're going to talk about kind of what makes them memorable and why they resonate with audiences. And
I like it.
yeah.
Should be interesting.
Yeah, so like just as a little teaser, we're going to talk about, did you know one of these pets actually started out belonging to a different character?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and which one is praised for its lazy but lovable personality?
Okay, now I'm intrigued.
Yeah. So let's dive in, I guess, to the world of Disney pets. And I think we have to start with the OG.
Okay, Pluto. Yes. The epitome of a loyal companion.
Oh.
He doesn't need words to express how he's feeling, does he?
No.
It's all in the ear twitches and the tail wags.
Yeah.
Something I'm sure a lot of our listeners who are dog lovers out there can relate to.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that that's a big part of his appeal, right? It's like that pure devotion, very heartwarming. But sometimes you need a little mischief,
Right.
to spice things up. So that brings us to the dapper, tuxedo-clad Figaro.
Ah, Figaro. He's got that endearing grumpiness
Yes.
that makes him so fun to watch. Now, this might surprise you, but he wasn't always Minnie Mouse's pet.
Oh.
Originally, he belonged to Geppetto in Pinocchio.
What?
Yeah. But he was so popular that he got adopted by Minnie and became a fixture in her world.
Really? That's so interesting. I had no idea.
Yeah.
It shows you how these characters kind of take on a life of their own sometimes.
You really do.
Yeah. So speaking of capturing hearts, how about Duchess from the Aristocats?
Ah, Duchess.
Uh,
All about grace under pressure, navigating those Parisian streets with her kittens in tow.
yeah, she's a loving mother, but she's also very resourceful
She is.
and resilient.
Mm,
She's in a pretty tough situation, and she never loses her composure,
right.
which is pretty impressive.
It is.
You know, now that you mention it, Duchess's journey reminds me a bit of another Disney pet on our list. This one's a bit more mythical.
Oh, are you thinking of Pegasus from Hercules?
Yes.
Okay, I see the connection. Yeah. They both exhibit incredible loyalty and resilience in the face of danger.
Yeah, and Pegasus isn't just a mode of transportation for Hercules.
Right.
He's his childhood friend.
Yeah,
He's his confidant, and really a hero in his own right.
totally.
Plus, who wouldn't want a flying horse, right?
I think we all have a bit of Pegasus envy,
Yeah.
but I think what I find really compelling about him is that he embodies that same kind of heroic spirit as Hercules, but he brings this playfulness
Yes.
and humor to their dynamic.
Which I love.
That dry wit is just, it's perfect.
It's so good.
But from the heights of Mount Olympus, we're coming back down to earth
Right.
with our next Disney pet.
Okay.
And I'm betting many of you can relate to his kind of like energetic personality.
Are you talking about Max from The Little Mermaid?
Okay, yeah, he might not have wings,
Mhm.
but he definitely adds a certain energy and warmth to that story.
Yeah. He's like the classic enthusiastic sheepdog that everyone loves.
Yeah,
But he's not just a furry friend.
right.
He plays a key role in bringing Ariel and Eric together.
He does.
Remember that scene where he's practically dragging Eric toward Ariel?
Yeah.
He's a matchmaker in disguise.
He's a matchmaker. I love that.
So he's kind of like
That's great.
a low-key hero in that sense.
Definitely.
You know, a hero of love.
Yeah.
But from the kind of energetic Max, we're going to shift gears to a pet with a little more bite.
Ooh, okay. Are we talking Rajah from Aladdin?
Yes.
Oh, Rajah. He's fiercely loyal to Jasmine, almost like her personal bodyguard.
Yes.
But then you see this tenderness to their bond, especially when they're just relaxing together in the palace gardens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always love those scenes.
They're so sweet. I think Rajah's fierceness is actually quite symbolic. He represents Jasmine's own strength and defiance, even when she's within the confines of her royal life. It's almost like he's an extension of her spirit.
Wow, I never thought of it that way, but you're so right. It's like he's this reflection of her inner strength. Gosh, I'm seeing these Disney pets in a whole new light.
Me too.
What about you? Are you starting to notice any, like, common threads running through all these characters?
Definitely. Loyalty is a major theme,
Mm-hmm.
but it kind of manifests in different ways, right?
Right.
You have the pure, unwavering devotion of Pluto, and then you have that fierce protectiveness of Rajah. It's like a whole spectrum of loyalty on display here.
Yeah, and it's not just like a one-size-fits-all
Exactly.
type of loyalty. Each pet expresses it in their own way, just like real animals do, right?
Absolutely.
And speaking of expressing oneself, our next Disney pet is a master of nonverbal communication,
Okay.
even more so than Pluto. I think Pascal from Tangled.
Oh, Pascal. Such a fantastic example of how even a tiny creature can have a huge impact.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Rapunzel's only friend during her years of isolation.
Yeah.
And that bond is powerful. Plus, he's hilarious.
Yeah, he doesn't need words to just steal every scene he's in.
He really doesn't.
And his expressions, I love how his big, expressive eyes convey so much. It's like he's speaking volumes without uttering a single word.
Totally. And the sass. Don't forget about that. He's got attitude to spare, which makes him even more endearing.
Yeah. He proves that you don't have to be big to make a big impression.
Exactly.
Small but mighty, and that relationship with Rapunzel shows that companionship can come in all shapes and sizes.
It really can.
Now, have you noticed how Disney kind of uses animal characters
Yeah,
to represent different aspects of a character's personality or their journey?
definitely. It's like each pet embodies a specific quality or theme.
Right. Like Pascal's feistiness
Yeah,
mirrors Rapunzel's own spirit
exactly.
and her desire for freedom.
Absolutely. And that brings us to our next furry friend, who might seem like a complete contrast to the energetic Pascal. I'm talking about the lazy but lovable Mochi from Big Hero 6.
Ah, Moji. He is the epitome of feline contentment, right? He's not out saving the world or anything, but he represents something just as important, the warmth and stability of home.
It's so true. And it's kind of fascinating how he provides this sense of normalcy and routine amidst all the high-tech action.
Yeah.
He reminds us that even in a world full of superheroes and gadgets, sometimes the simple joys of cuddling up with a furry friend are what matter most.
Yeah. What do you think? Does he remind you of any cats you know?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I have a friend whose cat is just like Mochi, a total cuddle monster.
Oh.
But let's be honest, not all Disney pets are the cuddly type.
Right.
Some are more about comic relief than companionship.
Yeah.
Case in point, Hey Hey from Moana.
Oh, hey, hey. Now, he's not exactly the brightest bulb on the porch.
No, he's not.
But he is a source of constant amusement.
He is.
So what do you make of his role in this story, besides comic relief, of course?
I think Hey Hey serves as a reminder that even when you're facing these epic challenges,
Yeah.
life or death situations, it's important to find those moments of humor and lightheartedness.
Yeah, that's a great point. He's like walking, clucking embodiment of going with the flow,
Yes.
even if he doesn't quite know where he's going.
Exactly.
Now, do you think his presence helps to make Moana's journey more relatable, more human, even with all those fantastical elements?
I think so. His antics remind us that it's okay to not have all the answers, to make mistakes, and sometimes to just let life take you on these unexpected adventures.
It's a message that resonates with all of us, I think.
I think so too.
Now, as we're kind of wrapping up this first batch of pets,
Okay.
what overall themes or patterns are you noticing? How are these characters used in storytelling?
Well, I mean, one of the most prominent themes is loyalty. But as we've seen, it manifests in different forms.
Right.
We have Pluto's pure devotion to Rajah's fierce protectiveness.
Right.
Loyalty kind of takes on these unique shades,
Yeah.
depending on the character
Right.
and the story. It's a testament to how complex the human-animal bond is.
Yeah. And it's not just loyalty, right? We've seen how these pets often reflect the inner journeys of their human companions.
Absolutely.
They represent hidden strengths like Rajah or embody a sense of freedom like Pegasus.
Yeah.
So they add this depth and nuance to the narratives. The characters feel more real. The relationships feel more authentic.
Exactly. And they remind us that animals can experience this whole range of emotions and can even serve as catalysts for growth and change in their human companions.
Yeah. Think about how Max's enthusiasm
Yeah.
helps Ariel break free from her world. Or how Pascal encourages Rapunzel to step out of her tower
Yeah, it's amazing.
into the unknown.
How these seemingly simple animal characters can have these really profound effects on both the characters in the stories and us as viewers.
Right. I don't know about you, but I'm starting to see my own pets in a new light.
Oh, me too.
After this deep dive, I'm appreciating their personalities and the bond we share even more. What about you? Has this sparked any new insights for you as a pet owner?
Definitely. It's really reminded me that even those small gestures of affection from our pets, they have a big impact on our lives. They bring joy, laughter, unconditional love, And it's important to cherish those moments.
Well said. And it makes me think about the impact that Disney has had on how we see animals and the human-animal bond.
Yeah.
They've created some of the most iconic
They really have.
and beloved animal characters of all
Yeah.
time, and they've touched the lives of generations.
For sure.
So what kind of legacy do you think Disney's animal characters have left on popular culture?
I think Disney has played a big role in normalizing the idea of animals as companions and family members. They've shown us that they can be more than just pets. They can be heroes, confidants, sources of unconditional love.
That's such an important point.
Yeah.
It's like they've helped create this more compassionate and understanding view
Yeah.
of animals in the hearts and minds of millions of people.
Absolutely.
And that's a legacy worth celebrating.
It really is.
And speaking of celebrating, I think it's time we wrap up this first part of our deep dive
All right.
with a thought-provoking question
Okay, hit me.
for our listeners. So, if you could have any Disney pet as your own companion,
Oh, wow.
who would you choose and why? Think beyond just the cuteness factor.
Okay.
Think about their personality, their skills, their quirks. Who would be your ideal furry or scaly or winged friend?
It's a tough one. It's like choosing a favorite child.
I know, right?
There are so many amazing options. But I think I'd have to go with Pascal from Tangled. He's small enough to take anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
He's always up for an adventure. And, those color-changing abilities would come in handy. Plus, he's just so sassy
Yes.
and fun-loving. Who wouldn't want a pocket-sized chameleon with a big personality?
Absolutely. Excellent choice. But you know what's really striking about all these Disney pets is how diverse their personalities are. And the roles that they play, it's like they represent these different facets of the human-animal bond.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they appeal to so many people.
Definitely, I think so, too.
We've got everything from, like, the goofy antics of Pluto and Hi-He
Yeah.
to the fierce loyalty of Rajah and Duchess. They remind us of the joy, the laughter, the comfort,
Right.
and, yeah, even the frustration sometimes that comes with having an animal in our lives.
And they do it in a way that's both magical and relatable.
Yes.
They capture the essence of that connection in a way that I don't think anything else can. They leave us with that feeling of warmth and wonder
Yeah,
long after the credits roll.
absolutely. It really makes me appreciate the artistry and thoughtfulness that goes into creating these characters. I mean,
Yeah.
they may be animated, but the emotions they make us feel are very real.
They are.
But before we get too sentimental, it's time for us to wrap up this first part of our deep dive. Are you ready to leave our listeners with one last thought to ponder?
I am. It's been amazing diving deep into these Disney pets with you. They really show how animals aren't just background noise in our lives or in these films.
Yeah.
They shape our experiences, they challenge our perspectives, and sometimes they even steal the show. So my question for you listening is this. Think about a favorite animal character, maybe not even from Disney. What is it about them that really sticks with you? What does that say about the kinds of connections we look for, even in fiction?
Ooh, that is a good one.
Yeah.
It makes you think about how these characters, how they tap into something deeper, something universal about our love for animals.
Totally.
And I think that's part of the magic of Disney.
Yeah.
Right? They take these complex themes, these emotions, and make them accessible to everyone, no matter how old you are or where you come from.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just entertainment. These characters can spark real conversations about loyalty, companionship, even the ethical responsibilities that come with pet ownership.
It's true. A good story can really make you think and feel and even change your perspective.
It really can.
And who better to guide us on that journey
Yeah,
than a furry, feathered, or even scaly friend?
I love it. So to our listeners, keep exploring those connections. Keep learning from those animal companions and keep those tails wagging.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this first part of our deep dive into the world of Disney pets. We hope you've enjoyed the journey so far.
You too.
We'll be back with more furry friends and insights in our next installment. Until then, keep those paws clicking, those wings flapping, and those imaginations soaring.
Welcome back. Hope you had a chance to think about those awesome Disney pets we talked about.
Yeah.
They really show how creative those Disney folks are.
Oh, totally. And we're not even done yet. We got more furry friends to uncover. And speaking of uncovering, our next Disney pet is all about revealing those hidden strengths, and challenging expectations. Little Brother from Mulan.
Oh, yeah. Little brother.
Honestly, I'm excited to explore what he brings to the table.
Yeah. He might not have a ton of screen time,
Right.
but he shows that contrast between Mulan's life before and after joining the army, right?
Now that you mention it, yeah, I see that. It's like he represents that carefree, playful side of her life. The part she has to leave behind, like a symbol of her childhood.
Exactly. And even his name, right?
Little brother.
Little brother. It's like he has this small but important role in her life, reminds us of the family and that ordinary life she wants to go back to.
Yeah, he adds a whole other layer to her journey, wouldn't you say?
For sure.
It's like his energy, that playfulness really makes you realize just how much she sacrifices when she takes her dad's place.
Absolutely. Makes her win even more meaningful. Speaking of journeys, we got to talk about a Disney pet who goes on this grand adventure himself.
Ooh.
Hey, the rooster from Moana.
Oh, hey, he. Not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed.
Nope.
But definitely keeps things entertaining. What do you think about his part in the story? Besides the comic relief, obviously.
Well, sometimes when you're dealing with huge EE problems, life or death stuff, got to have that humor, that lightheartedness. I think Hey brings that.
That's a good point. Like, he just goes with the flow, right?
Totally.
Even if he's clueless about where he's going. Do you think that makes Moana's journey, like, easier to connect with, even with all the magical stuff going on?
I think so.
Yeah.
He shows it's okay to not know everything, to mess up, to just let life surprise you. Pretty good message for all of us.
Yeah, for sure. Hayes teaching us even epic adventures can be silly sometimes, and laughing can really help when things are tough. Okay, as we finish up talking about these top 10 Disney pets,
Right.
what themes are you noticing? How do they fit into the stories?
Well, loyalty is huge EE, right?
Definitely.
But we've seen it's not all the same. Pluto's like pure devotion. Rajah's that protector. Shows you how many ways humans and animals connect.
Totally agree. And it's more than Jayco loyalty. These pets, they're like reflections of what their humans are going through.
Yeah.
Like Rajah's strength. Or Pegasus, wanting to be free. It makes the stories deeper, more real.
It does. Reminds us animals have feelings too, and can help their humans grow and change.
Think about Max and how excited he is.
Oh, yeah.
It helps Ariel leave her world.
Right.
And Pascal pushes Rapunzel to get out of that tower.
Into the unknown.
Crazy how these simple animal characters can change things so much. For the characters A and D, for us watching.
I know. I'm looking at my pets differently now.
Me too. Appreciating who they are and what we have together even more. What about you? Learned anything new as a pet owner?
Definitely. Even the little things our pets do, the love they show, it means so much. Gotta cherish that.
Very true. It makes me think about how Disney changed how we see animals, the bond between us. Some of the most famous animal characters ever, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Touched so many people.
For sure.
What's that legacy, do you think? Disney animals, how do they change things?
I think because of Disney, it's normal now to think of animals as part of the family. They're not just pets, they're heroes, they're your best friend, they love you no matter what.
Such an important point. It's like they made people more compassionate, more understanding about animals. That's something to celebrate.
It really is.
Yeah.
Speaking of celebrating, time to wrap up this part of our deep dive.
Okay.
Got a final thought for our listeners? If you could have any Disney pet, who would it be?
Ooh.
Don't just pick the cutest.
All right.
Think about their personality, what they can do, the funny stuff they do. Who's your perfect furry or scaly or winged friend?
That's a hard one. So many great choices. But I think I got to go with Pascal from Tangled. He's small, so you can take him anywhere. He's always ready for an adventure. And that color changing, so useful. Plus, he's just so sassy and fun.
He is.
Who wouldn't want a tiny chameleon with a big personality?
Great choice. He'd keep you on your toes. But what's amazing about all these Disney pets is how different they are. Their personalities, what they do in the stories, shows all the ways humans and animals can be close. And that's why everyone loves them, I think.
Exactly. We got the silliness of Pluto and Hi-He, the loyalty of Rajah and Duchess.
Yep.
They show us the joy, the laughs, the comfort, even that frustration sometimes that comes with having an animal in your life.
And they do it in this way that's like magical B-U-T, real at the same time. They get that human-animal connection no matter what language you speak, what culture you're from. Leaves you feeling good.
Yeah.
Even after the movie's over.
It's so true. And it makes you appreciate how much work goes into making these characters. They're cartoons, but they make us feel real stuff.
Yeah.
But before we get too sappy, gotta wrap up this deep dive. Ready for that last thought to make our listeners think? Ready when you are? What's that final thought?
Ooh, okay. It's been awesome talking about these Disney pets. Shows you animals aren't just like They're in the background, right? In our lives or these movies. They change things, make you see things differently. Sometimes they're the best part. So think about your favorite animal character. Doesn't even got to be Disney. What's special about them? What does that tell us about how we connect with animals, even fake ones?
Ooh, that is deep. Makes you realize these characters, they're tapping into something big.